Hello, back again studying ancient Egyptian maps of the planet. And so this is, let's see, this is one I showed before that's, this figure that's in the Gulf of California and the Sea of Cortez. And the Bahia de Santa Maria, and I forget what these islands are, but yeah, it's like this island seems to delineate this side of them, and this island or islands seem to delineate the separation between the legs. But anyway, I was just thinking it's at least possible that, like, I was calling this a man, but it's at least possible that this is a woman or anybody holding a baby instead of this being, because I was thinking this was their arm, but like, why would one arm be so big and one arm be so skinny? I mean, it's a reconstruction by Egyptologists based on a very small and damaged, painting. I mean, the whole map is pretty damaged, the original. But, just looking at it, I could see that this could be, this kind of round part where the dark water could be like the baby's head. And then this would be like, and then there's kind of an indent for the neck, and then this could be the baby's body, and this could be their legs, and they're kind of sitting on the shoulder. Maybe they're kind of in a sling. So, that would actually make sense more than just somebody has one really skinny arm and one really fat arm that they're like sticking in the air. So yeah, maybe this is their baby that they have kind of wrapped around some kind of sling thing. And then this is like a diaper that they had to dispose of that might be like this little waterway or wetlands there or something. And I was thinking that this arm of his, I think I might have found the arm. Let's see. The arm might be this little kind of indent here, because that's in kind of more or less the right place. Or at least that might be part of the arm. And I don't know if anything else in here is part of it or not, but yeah. And then this one that's in, I guess, either Labrador or Quebec or thereabouts. And it seems to be this, because it's situated between Newfoundland and Greenland. And it's shown not as an island, but something, in the coast, basically. So, anyway, so I found like the name of it. It's Sandwich Bay. And there's North River and Huntington Island and Paradise River. So yeah, basically Sandwich Bay would be that gatekeeper or god or avatar or whatever, if that's the correct identification. So yeah, here's just a close-up, kind of just the potential of this being actually like a baby that this person's holding. And this, so it could be a woman, like maybe this is like her titty or something, or maybe she's breastfeeding, and maybe, yeah, who knows. But anyway, I could see it. It makes more sense than just that it's a weird club arm that sticks in the air. So let's see. This is a, this is the 5,500-year-old Hierakonpolis map from Tomb 100 at Hierakonpolis, or Nehen, as it's, I think Nehen, I'm not sure if Nehen is its Egyptian name or its ancient Egyptian name or its modern Egyptian name. I guess it's its ancient Egyptian name. So yeah, basically, I think that this little guy is probably Jamaica here. And then this bigger one is probably Cuba, which has like this kind of like pointy nose that comes down, kind of a hook nose. And so does this, it's kind of hard to see, but I think he has the same shape of a nose, like a kind of little pointy nose compared to the other animals, which tend to just have like regular noses, or anyway, they're not like that. And this, I think that this is basically the Bahamas. So it might be especially around this area where I'm not sure if the circle in the middle would be this circle or this circle or what, but there's this circle. But there's a bunch of little islands and a bunch of seamounts, because like you can see how the land underwater is very close to the surface all throughout there, which helps create all the storms every year, I believe, and probably helps create the Gulf Stream current. And then, so yeah, and then for Cuba as well, like this seems to be the tail there that hooks down. And this line right here might be basically the sea between Cuba and this kind of like long running island or kind of sandbars or whatever they are along this coast. And this guy seems to be Hispaniola, and then this seems to be Puerto Rico back here, and Hispaniola has these kind of front hooves or whatever that stick out to the front, so I think that's symbolizes these somehow. and probably Gonave Island in here might symbolize one of these as well. And the idea of him being headless, he's the headless horse. And the Egyptian government, I'm guessing Zawi Hawass or whatever, they literally erased this entire map, or all the orange part, all the actual kind of standard map part of it, because they claimed it was a stain that was being, incorrectly portrayed as a map by pseudoscientists or whatever. Mostly it has mostly been interpreted wrongly as a map of water, which it's not. It's a map of land. But nevertheless, they erased it, and part of the reasoning was they wanted to see this horse's head underneath the stain. But they erased it, and they looked underneath, and there's still no head. The horse never had a head, because that's Hispaniola. It's like a weird animal with no head. So yeah, Governments are awesome nowadays and historically. Let's see. This. Oh yeah, so I just wanted to identify some of the stuff on here because this is New Zealand in the 5,500-year-old map with Stewart Island and South Island, South Island and North Island. Stewart Island, South Island, North Island. And so let's see, it seems to focus especially on some parts. And it could be like this figure as well could be female. Like it could be that Banks Peninsula here, which is this thing right here. That could be her breast. So that could be a female. Yeah. And she might have like long, so maybe this is her long hair and like her face is actually here. That could be. And so I was trying to find out like what these peninsulas are called. So this skinny peninsula, this one here is called Coromandel Peninsula, and this bigger one doesn't really seem to have a name. I think it might just be called like North. I'm not sure. Called like, but I guess. Yeah, so I guess this is that island. So this island is the Great Barrier Island. So that's this guy right here. And it is kind of like long shaped like that. And like the end of this is called like something peninsula, but they don't include the whole thing in that definition of the peninsula. See, now I'm actually not sure about these. I think that could be wrong about these. I think these might be something nearby. But it hasn't uploaded onto the cloud from my phone, so I can't show it on my laptop yet. Or onto Google. It hasn't uploaded to the Google Photos. So this is Britain and Ireland on the 5,500-year-old map. And so you can clearly see like Ulster, Connacht, and Munster. So apparently I found out this is pronounced Connacht, like kind of like connect, but Connacht, like a well-connected Canadian, I guess. No, just kidding. Anyway, so this map is decent for showing Argyll. So Argyll seems to be Britain's arm because it has this shape, and a real arm would be more like this, where half of it is on the upper half and half of it, or maybe a little more than half, is on the lower half. Whereas on this side there's just a very small upper half and a much longer over half, or lower half, whatever. So that fits with Argyll there, which has a relatively short part that goes down that way and at that angle, and then it changes angle and is longer. And that's, of course, the part of Britain that is closest to Ireland, so it makes sense that it would be thought to be holding Ireland. So it seems like, Ulster's head is like right here. And then there's like this cord rope or whatever going around the head. Might be this part like around I don't know if that's lock. It's not the foil. That would be, anyway, something there. So yeah, and I'm not sure for the other side. Like there's so his head. There's his head, and then there's maybe these are his arms on either side. So it could be that his head is like between here and this lake here, and then his arms are basically the parts on either side there. And then his lower body is down here. And, the next guy, it's like he has a shoulder and then a head and then another shoulder. So I see like here, like a shoulder, or maybe here, shoulder, head, then another shoulder. And then the other guy just has like a head and a knee. So, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, and then this part, I'm thinking this thing here is probably just this whole peninsula, around the Firth of Forth or wherever the heck that is. Yeah, anyway, and then this part, I'm thinking it's probably this whole thing, I mean, because in a way, like, it would be better if his legs were this and this, because there are two of them. But at the same time, like, I feel like this might fit better for this and this. Like, this whole green part could be like this, his little belt or whatever. And then these both could somehow be his legs. And maybe the way they're shaped could just symbolize that it's like at the far end, it's like skinniest and then it gets wider. Something like that. I guess this is the same. This is just from like a different angle showing it. And then, of course, the outer Hebrides being his cudgel or whatever it is. And so this is like an outline map. So this shows even better maybe the outline of Argyll and how close it is to Ulster. And it might show, the outline of the kind of head of Ulster and his arms around the sides of it. Yeah. Let's see. So this is another one that shows Argyll pretty well. So yeah, again, it's like a small upper arm and then an elbow and then a longer forearm or whatever. And yeah, here, I mean, this almost really does look like a hand or something. That's his like hand coming up on this side, and it has another hand on this side, which is like whatever that is, I guess. And so yeah, a lot of this is pretty well defined and fits very well. Yeah. Because, that's like the important strait if you're going through the Irish Sea to get, to America or to come to Europe from America or whatever, and you're passing through here. It's good to pass through the Irish Sea if you can, because it's calmer waters, but you have to know how to navigate it. This one's not the best for that, but it shows the counties and it shows his club and everything. It's a little bit cartoony, but so these are the 4 original counties of Ireland: is Ulster, Connacht, Munster, and Leinster. And let's see. This already showed. There's another one just showing Argyll, which really looks like it has a shoulder here. And I mean, I'm not really sure if that's meant to be his shoulder or could be though. Or that could be even his, it's hard to know if he has a face particularly. I've been kind of looking for that. But I kind of suspect, I mean, there's a famous story in Ulster about like 2 chieftains who were trying to lay claim to Ulster, and they said whoever sailed, they did a race, and it's like whoever touches Ulster, grabs it with their hand, owns it. And they were getting close, and it was neck and neck, and then one of them cut off their hand and threw it to Ulster, and that's how they got Ulster. But I think, I've seen some websites associating that story with the giant Finn McCool, who I think may be Britain, since Finn means white, and Britain was always called the White Island, Albion, and it was called like the white-haired one in later Egyptian maps. But this, I would say, this kind of looks like an arm with a hand at the end of it. And with like, this could be the thumb, and it could be like a clenched, I don't know, some kind of weird hand. And then this looks like an arm with the hand cut off it. So that's my suspicion, is that this is the origin of that story, but I could be wrong. And then it could even be that the hand itself could be Rathlin Island here, or it could be something else like on the mainland. So yeah, this is Rathlin. So Rathlin kind of looks like a fist and an arm, you could say. Like this would be an elbow, and this would be like a forearm and a fist. It also could kind of look like a thumb, and there's stories about Finn McCool's thumb. And there's some other islands in the area that also could look like thumbs, so that could be part of it. Yeah. Trying to find his face, because I think, he might have some actually identifiable face. See, what is this? There's something else. Let's see. Well, these are those. There's these 2 islands off the coast of the Alaska Peninsula, and so those are likely well, I think it's this, which is like 3 islands. Actually, it looks like a dick and balls there, but yeah, don't take my word for it. But yeah, that's like a cluster kind of right at the tip of the peninsula there. But there's a larger cluster of islands just west of it, so that seems like it has to be that. See if it'll let me close this. Nope. Oh yeah, cool. And I found the other one that I was going to compare to that, but not sure where it went. Process of elimination. Okay, I'm not sure what this is. Strange. Anyway. Alright, so there's this. This is just another version of the same kind of comparison of Ireland and Britain. It's basically the same exact thing. Outer Hebrides, Orkneys, Shetland, and Ireland and Britain. Argyll, Ulster, Connacht, and Munster. And this I already showed. Let's see. I was showing this as Japan and Sakhalin. And but the one thing I forgot to mention is the fact that this line here that goes from, you know, what seems to be, you know, Kyushu to what seems to be Hokkaido, and then it doesn't go to this one. So I think that symbolizes that these are basically all like together, like there's very thin straits between them, but the main opening is between Hokkaido and Sakhalin. So that's reflected here on the map. And I was also realizing that, you know, Honshu's shape is instructive. He has like an arched back compared to like this one or something. Well, it's hard to see with this one actually, but I mean, I don't know. But also that his tail, you know, like, well, maybe they all have tails, but like this one doesn't seem to have a tail. This one doesn't, and I'm not sure about this one. But his tail, I think, is like this part back here. And yeah, his feet are his foot is probably Shikoku there. And yeah. Let me just see what else I got here. I'm really not sure like what this is. I guess I'll delete that. This. My phone will give me another couple minutes to record, but I'm just making sure while I'm doing this that I'm not missing anything on here. So, you know, I was thinking that maybe this was the face of Britain, like this is his eye, this is his nose, this is his mouth. Who knows? Like this is up in northern Scotland. Might be an island, I'm not sure. But there's also parts of this that kind of look like a face. And so yeah, there's Rathlin Island, looks like either a thumb or like a fist at the end of a arm. And so yeah, there's like one arm here with a, you know, cut off hand seemingly, and then another arm with a hand on it about to touch Ulster. And so I was thinking maybe Rathlin is his hand that he threw there, or maybe something else is the hand. And see, this one, there's a chance that the part of his tail that kind of comes down, like I was thinking there is a little kind of peninsula like that there, and chances are it's that. But the way things are in these maps, there's also a chance that it's somehow connected, somehow this island, that's just seen as an appendage that way somehow. But yeah, who knows? I'm leaning in the other direction, but gotta stay open-minded. Yeah, actually, no, I do have some other stuff on the screen somewhere that I want to show, but I think my phone's probably going to cut me off before I ever get near it. Delete. Yeah, it's not this. It's basically, I wanted to show like the other comparison of this, which shows that it's a direct lineal ancestor of the Antarctica avatar in the Book of Two Ways of Jehudi Hotep. And it's basically a direct lineal ancestor of the avatars in, or at least the avatar that for West Antarctica in the Book of Two Ways of General Seppi, because it shows also, that one also shows the peninsula as an arm of a deity. So that is somewhere on the screen, but it's underneath a million ass things. So yeah. Boggles the mind that there's like so much stuff on here. There it is. Okay, my job is done. So like there you can see how this thing in Jehudi Hotep's 4,000-year-old map has the same like weird stray lines under the torso that the 5,500-year-old map has, which could be mistaken for like an error or something that was damaged, but